हम तो उस्ताद बख्श बेंजे वाला, हम बलूचिस्तान का एक फनकार हूँ, हम जंगल का फनकार हूँ, पहाड़ का फनकार हूँ, सारा बलूचों का, सारा दुनिया का। एक परिंदे का आवाज़ है, उनको चिड़िया बोलता है, उनकी आवाज़ को सुनो, जो सुनने वाला से सुनता है वही भी सुनो। चिड़िया का आवाज़ है, परिंदा समझो, बेंजो को ऊपर से इसको आवाज़ पेश करेगा, ये भी सुनाओ। एक सुर है, एक बलूची ज़ेमन का सुर है। ये शायरी हमारा खुद का है। ये शायरी मैंने खुद, ये धुन मैंने खुद ही नहीं बनाया, किसी उस्ताद को मेरे को नहीं बता दिया। हालांकि उस्ताद खुदा बख्श मेरे उस्ताद था, मैं मेहनत ख्वार हूँ, वे मेरे उस्ताद था। वो समझो मेरे आँखियों बंद था, उस्ताद खुदा बख्श मेरे आँखियों खोल दिया था। वो तो हमारा बड़ा उस्ताद है। मगर ये साथ ये धुन मैंने बनाया, उस्ताद जो मुझे नहीं बता दिया है, मैंने खुद ही अपना दमाखुरी से ये धुन बना रहा है। ये भी सुना रहा हमारा खुद का समझो शायरी है, जो सुनाना वाले सुन लो। अच्छा, फिर एक बलूची, उनको बोलते ज़ैरुक, समझो बलूची एक ज़ैरुक है, बैंजो के ऊपर तो उसको हम पेश करेगा, सुनने वाला उसको सुने, शायद आपको खुशी मिलेगा इंशाल्लाह ताला। इसको आप सुनाते भी इंशाल्लाह ताला पेश करेगा। ज़ैरुक है, बलूची ज़ैरुक।
हाँ साजी बैठे हैं थोड़ा तस्वीर लेंगे।
Wow, what a transcendental musical experience. If you're joining us, this is the first ever Boiler Room being broadcast from Pakistan, and also the first ever Boiler Room where we've got the stage full of fresh roses and jasmine. And if you're watching at home, I just wish you could smell it. That was Ustad Hamza.Baloch, a taster of some... It gives you a little taster of some traditional music from the province of Balochistan in Pakistan. And Daniel here knows Nur-Baksh pretty well, so he can tell us a little bit more about this type of music that we just listened to and the instruments as well, perhaps.
So, can you hear me? Okay, now you can hear me. So, Ustad Nur-Baksh is a maestro of the Balochi banjo. The instrument was originally a Japanese toy, and it was a Japanese children's toy called the Taisho Koto. And then, some point in the 20th century, Baloch musicians adopted it and made it into a very refined folk instrument for them today. But versions of it are played in other parts of South Asia as well as East Africa. And the music that Ustad Nur-Baksh plays, Ustad ji, आपके बारे में थोड़ा कहानी बता रहा हूँ. He doesn't want to miss any of the shots. So the music that he plays is primarily Balochi music, but also Sindhi music, and music in all kinds of other languages floating in that area. So Farsi, he even plays Kurdish songs. He even played me once an Israeli song. So you can imagine that he's soaked up so many sounds in his area way before the borders between Pakistan and Iran were there. So, you know, sounds from there, sounds coming from other parts of the Indian Ocean. So he soaked all of that up and he plays that. And he has many original tunes as well, many of which are inspired by bird songs, because there's a lot of melodious birds where he's from. And he's generally quite explicit about how he takes his inspiration from the jungle where he lives, from the birds, and from the mountains there. But really his style is so experimental because it blends all of that up with his own kind of distinct experimental kind of playing. And he also of course, knows about the South Asian rag system and often talks about how those tunes that he's playing, how they're based on particular rags. But then again, the way he plays them, they're just transcendental, as you all heard. So thank you so much for being here.
I also wanted to ask you a little bit more about the instruments. I mean, it's really interesting to know that the electric banjo that we just heard originated as a toy from Japan. And the two accompanying instrumentalists, they're playing an instrument that you find in Pakistan, but also across South and Central Asia.
Yeah, so this is called a dambura, and we classify it as a long-necked lute. And you have long-necked lutes very similar to this all over the region from Central Asia to here. So in Sindh, we have the damburo, which is played at the shrine of Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai as well. And then even the Irani sitar looks similar, but is played differently. And the Turkish saz, balama. So it's a kind of like instrumental form that changes, you know, and the way we play it also changes through the geography slightly, but there's, you know, continuity in that as well.
So interesting. I guess the place where Pakistan is situated geographically is at such a cultural crossroads. And as we move through the evening of live music, we'll see all the different types coming out, the different areas. This is traditional, and I guess we'll end the night with some contemporary music before we get into the DJs. But there's loads more to share with you, so stay tuned. Okay.